we turn our attention to event 15, the men's 10,000 metre run. As we see our competitors here lining up, we'll introduce them. In Station 1, we have Sean Crichton. In Station 2, we have Zach Newman. In Station 3, we have John Bartlett. In Station 4, we have Jai Edmonds. In Station 5, we have Chris Rancy. In Station 6, we have Craig Davis. In Station 7, we have Thomas Hines. In Station 8, we have Scott O'Connor. In Station 9, we have Toby Rayner. In Station 10, we have Nick Earl. In Station 11, we have Stephen Deneen. In Station 12, we have Matthew Davey. In Station 13, we have Dane Verway. In Station 14, we have Daniel Hutchinson. In Station 15, we have James Lightfoot. In Station 16, we have Frankie Conway. In Station 17, we have Mark DeLuca. In Station 18, we have Dion Finocchiaro. I always pronounce this one wrong. I will get it right one day. Finocchiaro. I will have to ask him. Maybe I'll ask him after this race. Apologies, Dion, if I did pronounce that wrong. One of those times. In Station 19, we have Claire McIntyre. In Station 20, we have Julian Spence. In Station 21, we have Tom Crouch. In Station 22, we have Peter Kerr. In Station 23, we have Michael Daly. In Station 24, we have Michael Marantelli. In Station 25, we have Charlie Park. In Station 26, we have David Crintiti. In Station 27, we have Sean Stevens. In Station 28, we have Jamie Cook. In Station 29, we have Brady Threlfall. And in Station 30, and rounding out our competitors in this men's 10,000 metre run, we have Ben Kelly. So a large field here for the 10K at the STEIGEN Spectacular. I've spoken to a few of the athletes. We think the front pack will be going at around 72-second laps here, so 30 minutes for the 10K, so 25 laps for those watching at home. Now, like all of the other races, but I think one, the steeplechase here at Steigen, we do have prize money on offer. A new initiative this year. The first person through every third lap, so 1,200 metres, 2,400 metres, and so on, all the way through up to 9,600 metres, do win 100 metres, $100 as long as they finish in under 33 minutes. So a little bit of an incentive to go fast there.
And here's a little fun fact, Lachlan.
Yeah, it should help the laps pass by, that incentive every couple laps, something to think about every K or so.
You guys want a fun fact? Here's a fun fact. James Lightfoot in number 15, lane station 15, is actually the brother of Jonathan Lightfoot, who got the Australian meet record at the All Schools recently, just a month ago. That's a fun fact. Great name, don't you think, for a high jumper and for a runner.
We do also have, and I did mention a little bit off air, I got told by Dave Armstrong, one of our camera people, to listen to a podcast. And I hadn't listened. I had seen it around before. It's called the Inside Running Podcast. Now, a couple of our athletes in this 10K here, Bradley Therafall and Julian Spence, as well as another athlete, Bradley Crocker, do this distance running podcast. They did mention a couple of live streams that we did for Zatopek and then the Milers Club. And they mentioned the best thing that they saw out of a Zatopek live stream was Tim Crosby standing behind, I think it was Craig Mottram, yelling out the lap splits. So that's why I've implemented it on this live stream, and I'll be doing my absolute best so that next week when the podcast does come out, they do say it was a great job that the live stream did do the lap counts. It is a little bit hard because I am doing it on the fly, but we'll see how we go.
Now the question that's just come in from one of our viewers is lane 9, Toby Rayner, any relation to Lachlan Rayner? Okay, it didn't come in on one of the viewers, but I'm sure it's going to come in. Is he a relation, Lachlan?
No, he isn't. I do get asked that question a fair bit. Same with Jack Rayner as well. No relation as far as I'm aware.
So viewers, if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, please send your comments our way.
I have also heard that Sean Crichton is actually after an Australian Masters record tonight, and maybe we can try and find out what that is. If anyone on the live stream knows, could you want to comment? That would be great.
That's what the live stream's all about, Lyndon. So let's get these people involved. If you do know what the Masters record is that Sean Crichton would be going for, do be sure to let us know on either Facebook or YouTube. And we're in the starters' hands here. And we're underway here, so Sean Crichton does go in with the fastest time here, but we did some research. It was set a little while ago, so we do have Nick Earl with a 29:34 time here. So we will be taking a look to see who does take the early lead, and it is in fact Nick Earl. There were a few comments saying that he would be one of the athletes that maybe does go for that extra $100 incentives here. So given early form here in the 200 metres into this 10K, if he does go through those every 3 laps, they will pocket the $100 as long as they do finish the race in under 33 minutes.
Yeah, and he's certainly been busy the last couple of weeks. He already ran a 10K at Zatopek about 2 weeks ago now, where he was 11th, which is pretty commendable in that field. But he was also at the 15 Milers Club just the other night, so I'm not sure if he's had much time to train between all these races.
So, Lyndon, you asked the question, and one of the viewers came back with 32:45 is what they think could be it.
There we go.
They did actually say, I think, at the end of it, so they can't be exactly sure.
Well, it's on them now, not us.
That's it. So you did say Nick did compete at Zatopek and Milers Club. He also competed at the first Milers Club, doing the 3K in 8:27:53, and the 5K champs going back to, I think it was mid-November, with a 14:29:59 there. So he has done a fair few events or races in the last few months there.
And we've got quite a few marathon guys in this field. Brady, who you were talking about before behind the podcast, ran 2:20 in the Berlin Marathon earlier this year. And Matt Davey had a win at the Auckland Marathon, which was not that long ago now, probably about 2 months. So you'd have to think those guys are pretty fit for this.
And just as we watch this race continue on, we've actually had Craig Green come in with a link and qualified 33:03:74 for Cretan. So that's a great run.
So they did go through the second lap there in 2:23, so a 73-second lap there. So they are right on the 72-second.
Yeah, you do have a bit more buffer room in the 10K compared to those 8, so you can make it up on another lap if you're off by a second.
And a lot of these athletes would be quite used to doing quite a distance. So, and it was another thing that I did get out of this podcast. They, Julian Spence and Brady there did say that they do get a little bit more tired early on, but they do seem to be able to maintain a consistent pace and even work through that threshold a little bit more than what they did when one of them was a track runner there. So Nick Earl is out there in front. James Lightfoot in second position, and Michael Marantelli there leading the second group as we come through with 3 laps, 3:33. So a 70-second lap there.
No one's really going for it. Well, I guess they've gone right.
And our front two in Nick Earl and James Lightfoot have already gapped the field just a little bit in, so they might be getting the first taste of all of those lap bonuses at this stage. But I did hear that James is after a 10K World Junior qualifier. Again, I'm not sure what that is. Are you aware, Lockie?
What was that, sorry?
World Junior 10K qualifier.
I can look it up for you. I don't have it on my sheet in front of me. Bear with me.
Or again, throw it to the people on
yes,
the live
throw
stream.
it to people. I did come with the Gold Coast and the World Junior qualifiers with me. We do have Raf on the iPad looking it up here. So Nick Earl did go through that first third lapper in place. So $100 as long as he secures that 33 minutes there. 4:45. So another 72-second lap there through 1,600 metres.
So it seems like they've really just clicked into a bit of a pace, and that's what these distance guys are good at, just finding that pace and just clicking him off lap after lap.
And do make sure you are asking questions. This 10K is a long race, so asking questions on either Facebook or on YouTube. We've got Dave Robertson liking that we are giving the Inside Running podcast some love there. Lee McCullen getting around Cookie. We've got Tally Rowe going for Julian as well, so do make sure that you are letting us know. So as they come up here, they're approaching as they go across the start line. They are 2 kilometres into this 10K race. So a 71-second lap. So they're under that 6-minute 2 kilometre time.
And we have found that World Junior 10K qualifier, which is 30 minutes 47 and half. So that's what will be on James's mind as he sits in second place behind Nick Earl currently.
So we do have Jordan Walker on YouTube saying that Julian will take the win. So good predictions. Keep your predictions coming in. We'll read them out. Peter Collier on Facebook. Good luck, Julian Spence as well. Jackson Tierney just saying Scotty. Curly Caldo, 27:31 is Sean Crichton's PB, Olympian and Com Games runner. And great to see him still out here running.
And we just had one of the Kang Noyak said that Jono and James are not brothers.
That one's on you, Raf.
That was on me. Thank you. We'll take that, and we apologise for any offence caused.
And that's another $100 in Nick Earl's pocket there as he goes through the 2,400 metres. Again in another 71-second lap. So, as you did mention before, Lyndon, these marathon type runners and these 10K runners, they can, once they get into a rhythm, they can just knock out those times quite consistently. Blake Ho's only coming here to hear that Isaac Hockey was commentating. We did say he could commentate. I'm not sure where he is. He hasn't come up to the tent. We'll see if we can get him by the end. So as we take a look back at the second group here, it's being led by Frankie Conway there in the Melbourne Uni.
Yes.
Melbourne Uni uniform there, followed by Michael Marantelli just behind him, and then Julian Spence.
Charlie Parker, David Grenady. Tom Crouch is passing the finish line. And Sean Stevens leading the next group. Troy Edmonds going past the winners. Michael Daly. Ray Davis leading that group, including Sean Coyman there.
So I do think we got a few comments on Facebook, and I do believe, just quietly, with the amount of comments coming in, that they are friends of theirs, but we did go and track down Isaac Hockey. Isaac, welcome to the stream.
Yes, good evening, Lockie. It's been a good night so far. This is shaping up to be one of Australia's premier track and field events.
Yeah, definitely, and a 10K. It is a lot of laps, so we look forward to hearing some of your comments throughout the race here and talking to you a little bit about how your own running is going.
Yes, it's the race has a nice mix of Geelong locals and some people from all around Australia. It's funny, I was speaking to Julian Spence before the race, many time runner of this event. And he's now moved from Geelong to Ballarat. So the word is on the street that it's a changing of guard in the local Geelong circuit, and we're up to seeing which athlete can pop through and become the new alpha in our the Geelong group, and who gets to pick where and when we run on the Sunday mornings.
So who is your pick out of the Geelong locals, since you're not up for the title?
10Ks are very too far for myself. At the moment, Julian actually is holding out in that first pack, but of course he's not eligible for the title. So it's sort of out to a few guys. Peter Kerr, Daniel Hutchison, Craig Davis. Most of them all coming off marathons in Berlin. Peter is actually 2012 Noosa Triathlon champion. So he's trying to make a little change into being a track and field athlete. Unfortunately, we saw Toby Rayner, an ex-winner of this race, already withdraw.
It's a long way to go if some things aren't going right in the 10K.
Yes, Toby has a very loping stride, but he was looking a little bit laboured, I thought. So where are we up to? We've still got a battle of two out the front. The youngster, James Lightfoot, and Nick Earl, with the distinctive EARL written on the back of his shorts.
And we do see the second group here, led by Michael Marantelli there from Athletics Essendon. He's catching up to the other
and they're right on the back right now.
So Michael Marantelli, AFL umpire as well. He does get a mention in most of the commentary. Ned Volk, yes, Isaac is making a commentary appearance, but Nick Earl goes through in 13:21.
Nice contingent of Melbourne University Athletic Club athletes there, 3 in the group.
Got a few too many allegiances. Geelong, Melbourne Uni, make up your mind. Can't have it all.
I'm a Geelong boy who happens to study at Melbourne University.
So we do have James Lightfoot dropping back there. So Nick Earl is leading the way ahead of Michael Marantelli in second position. We've got Conway there in third position. Julian Spence in fourth. So we come up here for 4,800. So through 4,800 in 14:33, a 72-second lap there.
So the front's still on that same pace, despite that sort of change of leads and regroup of the field.
So we have had a few changes here, so we will update you. So Michael Marantelli here in first position, ahead of Nick Earl. We then have Frankie Conway in third position as they go past the pole vault. There, Julian Spence with Zach Newman on his outside. And Brady Therathal at the back of that pack there, at the back of that lead pack. So Zach Newman taking the lead away from Michael Marantelli.
So Isaac, you gave us your insights on the Geelong people. What about this trio of Melbourne Uni athletes? Or duo, sorry.
Well, it looks like they're doing a little bit of teamwork here. In fact, they're putting a little break on, led by Zaka from Craig Mottram's stable, followed by Nick Earl, one of the big names of Melbourne University Athletics Club. You'll find him at most of the events, and he's got the club records of 3,000 metres all the way through to the half marathon, I believe.
Not a bad resume. So if we add you into that mix, that's a pretty solid cross-country team we got there. Who's your 5th, 6th guys on the team?
There's a lot of depth in the club. I personally can only really jump in that team in the relays where it's a bit shorter. We've got enough depth to compete well in the events through the shorter relays, sort of 3-4Ks, Princes Park, all the way through to the Burnley Half Marathon. So I can happily step back and let the older guys jump through.
So we do have 17 minutes flat there going through 5,600. A 72-second lap, so they are right back on pace now. So when that second pack did catch up, Nick Earl did drop the pace a little bit there, but they have picked it right back up. Zach Newman has taken the lead. So we do have our 3 Melbourne Uni competitors out there in front. Michael Marantelli in 4th position, Julian Spence, and then Brady Therathal rounding out that top group. And going back about 100 metres, 90 metres here, we do have Stephen Deneen there in the fluoro yellow top.
Not lapped.
Money left coming up. Up the straight now. Zach Newman. Nick Earl. Frankie Conway. Michael Marantelli behind Julian Spence. Brady Therathal. The leading 6 pack. And they've been together for a while now. As the call the early leaders. Working his way through nicely. David Grenady.
So another 72-second lap there as Zach Newman takes him through 6,000 metres in 18:12.
So your prediction of Melbourne Uni team work might not have been quite right. Looks like Zach has been doing a lot of work. Haven't exactly been trading off laps, but Nick Earl is looming a little bit. Does that mean a cash lap is coming?
It's very cheeky by Nick, but he did all the hard work early on, so it's probably tactically a good idea to sit in for a bit, relax, take a break both mentally and potentially physically, and then when winds up a few laps to go, maybe jump in for some cash here and there, and then put his move on and use his 3K speed as well.
Yeah, at this stage you predicted to be pretty close, but we're still a fair way from home.
And in 5th and 6th, there's a battle between Spence and Threlful, who are weekly podcast members, teammates, I guess. They run Inside Running, and there's been much hype about this race and their battle. Over the past few years, Threlful's had Julian covered, both coming off some pretty handy marathons. So there's another little tight battle amongst the main battle.
There's a lot of mini races within this race, you'd say.
Yeah. Much on the line.
Looks like a big bunch there, but it's the flat runners now. As Zach Newman works his way around the outside of them.
It does get a bit tricky as they do start to negotiate passing athletes, and Nick Earls used that to his advantage and slipped past Zaka.
Is that cash in the pocket?
I don't think that was a cash lap. The sign wasn't up. But he has opened up a small gap.
And there's a bit of action in our chase pack. Deneen's definitely let the elastic go. So it's now just a group of 2. Davies and Crinity.
And Isaac knows who they are. So we did figure out it was a 26, not a 28. So Peter Kerr, we did have someone ask on Facebook. So he just went through 6,400 in about 21:18 there as well. So there's an update. So if you do want an update on any of the other athletes.
And right behind on Peter's shoulder is young Tom Hines, only, I believe, 19 or 20 years of age, very short in stature compared to Peter. But both of them are Warrnambool boys. Pete, you could say, is the old-time hero of Warrnambool in his triathlon days, and maybe young Tom is the future. And then just as he goes around Peter.
So as we do see Nick kicking away again for the rest of the competitors there, that was another $100 lap there. So 21:50. They're a little bit off the 21:36 pace that they would need to break the 30 minutes. So Nick is probably aware of that, and he is kicking down now with 2,800 metres to go. So it looks like, unless there's any other challenges, Nick's going to do the rest of this on his own as he runs through 7,600 in 23 minutes flat. 22:48 is the time he needs to be on to try and get that time back down to 72-second laps. He's on pace, so that was a 70-second lap there by Nick. So he's picking it right back up. But he's going to do it on his own. Going back to the second group, or the chase group here, we have Frankie Conway leading that group ahead of Zach Newman, Julian Spence, and then Brady there as well. Following back, Michael Marantelli just dropping off the back there.
And the third group going through the bell now. They're mixing it up a little bit, potentially taking a bit of the lead each. Led now by Dane Verway, who's probably massaged quite a few of the guys' legs in this race. Always around the athletic scenes, both nationally and internationally. And then we've got Ben Kelly and Tom Hines, and Peter Kerr's just stringing off the back, trying to jump on as they move around 300 metres to the rear of Nick Earl.
You do see the expression on Nick's face. He is digging deep now. So another 70-second lap, 24:10 there through the 8K. So he has 2K to go, 5 laps.
And you would say he's increased that lead over the last lap or so. He's definitely breaking further away from the chase group.
So he has made a good 60 metres on that chase pack. Julian Spence has just kicked away. He's going to go for it. So he's got about 1,800 metres to go. So Julian Spence is going to make a late change here. Brady, his podcast partner there, is going to go with him. So Julian Spence leads the chase group to see if he can catch Nick. Brady there in third position, but Nick's going to go into the front straight. As he comes up to a money lap. Only 2 to go.
I wouldn't say the race is over yet. It's heating up. And poor Nick Earl, the meteorologist that he is, he missed a lovely sunset before. Too busy working hard out on the track.
So it has slowed down just slightly. 25.22 there for Nick Earl. So a 72-second lap. He's about 10 seconds behind that 30-minute time. Let's see if we can get him there. So Julian Spence in second place. Brady there in third. Zach and Newman back to Frankie Conway, rounding out the top 5. Michael Marintelli in 6.
Brady's moving along really nicely, trying to tuck on the back of Julian. Historically, he will always beat Julian in the final 200 or so, so Julian needs to take him on this lap. But Nick's still cruising away out in front.
Perhaps Julian is trying to prevent that if it's a bit of a historical occurrence, trying to drop him a little earlier.
2 big names, well, both ex-names now to Geelong Region Cross Country, Spence and Trelful. I actually have Brady's shirt we got when we won the 2015 XCI Premiership to give to him tonight. Somehow missed it 2 years later. Here we go.
26.35 there, so a 73 seconds. So the pace is slowing down just slightly. Julian Spence and Brady look to be coming after Nick. Nick's still got a good 50-metre lead, though, on them. Julian with his bright orange shoes there. Michael Marintelli going through 8,800 in just under 27 minutes. As Nick comes up to 9K, 1K to go in 27 minutes 10. So he's right on that 10 seconds shy of the 30 minutes. So he's on target. He's got to have a strong last 1K.
Gap still 30 metres. Not much change.
And he does look like he's putting another effort here.
Yeah, you can definitely see that in his face. He's definitely having a red hot crack here.
Got the head wobble, eyes up to the sky. Spence coming through now, followed by Trelful. Zach and Newman 4th. Frankie Conway 5th.
So a 70-second lap again for Nick there. So he's roundabouts that time. He has picked it up. He doesn't have long left now. About 650 metres to go in this 10K. He's going to be on his own. Julian Spence there in second position. Brady in third.
And we've actually been asked if Isaac Hockey is single. Any comments on that?
Yeah, but on the lookout. There was some
Girls, send in your requests.
nice 800-metre performances tonight.
Eyes on the 800 girls. We can go round them up after.
So we do have Nick coming up to 9,600. 1 lap to go. Final
hitting
money
the bell.
lap. 28.54.
And I'm pretty sure he'd be very happy to hear that bell at this point.
That's a 69-second lap, so he's increased it
now.
And he's kicking down with 1 lap to go. Brady going through there in 29.07. Zach Newman coming up as well to the bell lap, 29.13. Frankie Conway, 29.15. But it's Nick striding down the back straight, 250 metres to go in this 10K.
I apologise for doubting Nick and saying the race was still on. He's accelerated continuously over this final kilometre.
And he's kicking right home here with 120 metres to go as he enters the front straight for the last time.
The crowd is cheering.
29.43 with 100 metres to go. He moves out to the outside lanes here, digging deep. Comes right down, 29.57.
Just sneaks under that 30-minute barrier.
Nick Earl, your 2017 Steigen Spectacular Rod Muir 10,000 champion. And in second place, Julian Spence comes through the line in 30.11, followed by Brady Trelfall in 30.12.
And as the finishers start to come through, we keep an eye on Sean Crichton and that record he was going for.
Zachary Newman through in fourth, 30.25, followed by teammate Frankie Conway, 30.27.
A strong race there by Nick. 63-second last lap. A phenomenal effort. As we see Michael Marantelli from Athletics Essendon coming in here. 30.43.
Matt Davies. Charlie Park gets a bell. Here comes Dane Verway, the first of that third pack. Striding through, followed by Peter Kerr and Ben Kelly. Steve Deneen has fallen back, and Tom Hines.
And it got a bit crazy there on the finish line there, so most of our competitors now have just under a lap to go. We get Tom Crouch coming in, 31.29.
Dion Finocchiaro, apologies for the pronunciation.
Don't worry, we did it at the start as well. And we've got Sean Stevens from Keilor St. Bernard's finishing here, 31.45.
Jamie Cook gets the bell, 400 to go. Crichton.
All right, we are down here with Nick Earl, the winner of the 10K here tonight, and no veteran to the 10K. You ran one at Zatopek about 2 weeks ago. That is a lot of laps to the track. What have you done between now and then, other than run a 15 at Milers?
Oh, not much really. A few barefoot grass laps. That's what I like doing. So like it's just easy on the legs. You run with good form. So I'm a big advocate of barefoot running.
Sounds good. Yeah, I don't think you'd have a lot of energy for a whole lot between that with that schedule. And you do like to race a lot. So if anyone's got any races left for 2017, it's probably you. Is there anything left on the calendar?
Nah, that's me done for a bit anyway. And I just love racing. I got called out on Brady Trelfall's podcast for chasing money, but I'm like, well, I don't get money at milers and I do loads of races. I just love getting the spikes on and hitting it hard. I love it.
Nothing wrong with that. And there was a little bit of cash on the line tonight. You did get a few of those bonus laps. So any big plans for spending that bonus cash this Christmas season?
Well, I finished my job yesterday. So it's my first day of unemployment, so it's a good start for unemployment, basically.
Yeah, that probably pays more than Centrelink, I'd say. Well, congrats.
I'm British, I can't go on Centrelink.
There you go, you've got to run for the cash then. Well, congrats tonight. Enjoy a big rest and enjoy a break from some races.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Cheers.
No worries, well done.